Hello, this is an Age of Mythology commentary video, my first one, and I imagine it's not going to be too great, but I'm going to give it a bash anyway. So, as you can see, this is a playfest. I'm also not great with the interface yet, so you'll need to bear with me. Take Fog of War off. As you can see, it's a 1 versus 1. Not sure what the map is, but I mean, it is definitely a low hunt map, given how fucking empty it is everywhere. I'm pretty new to playing Age of Mythology online. I've watched plenty of videos of other people playing humans, Strange Strike, etc., but I've actually not done it too much myself. I've had the game since I was pretty young, and I played against the computer a lot, but not human players, so I'm not very great. So I've been getting my ass kicked a lot on Voobly. However, I struck gold and found this guy who is also quite new and not very good. It was pretty funny actually, his ox cart got fucked up really early on by an auroch. And that plays into my strategy later, as you'll see. He took about 30 seconds to start training villagers, and as you can see, he's not got them queued up, I don't think. I'll go on to his... Oh no, he's sort of queuing them up. So I had him beat by villagers pretty early on. He's playing as Loki and I am playing as Zeus, who is about the only god I'm good with. As for the map, I had a pretty sweet town centre here, because it's totally blocked off by wood. Like a few buildings here or a wall would totally secure this. And I have all this hunt here. That's like 400 food per auroch. So that's a lot of food, about 2,000 food there if my math is correct. Build order, let's see, go back to me. I start with 6 on hunt, then I stick 3 on wood and then 2 or 3 on gold. I used to put way more on food, but on someone's recommendation I put some more on wood and it's working out okay. If I put the Fog of War on, usually that's how I scout, just kind of curved around my base until gradually poking into the other side of the map. I'm going to play it fast now because the archaic to the classical age isn't too interesting. It's mostly just gathering up enough resources to get your temple out and then spamming out food. See, did not get that upgrade yet. Didn't get I usually go hand axe, pickaxe when I'm advancing, which I think I will be soon. Yep, there we go. About a 4-minute advance, a little bit late. It's not too bad. There we go. They're still hunting the aurochs. I'm gonna actually have a look at what the guy in the other team was doing. He was playing as Loki. Loki is a Russian god, as you may know. Did I say Russian? I meant rushing. Those two words are far too similar. So he was just building a lot of forward buildings, and he actually prepares a pretty strong forward military, as you can see. Hasn't really scouted out much of what I'm doing, but he did know exactly where these villagers were, so that kind of sucks for me. Head over to my side of things. Yeah, usually build a couple of military buildings early on. I'm not particularly fast yet. I'm okay going archaic to classical, and I'm okay in the classical age, but it's really just taking the early town centres and getting to the heroic age I still have difficulty with. So yeah, oh yeah, shit, I missed the best part. Okay, long story short, he had all of his hunt over here. The first thing I did was send my centaur over here to kind of harass him a little bit, and the auroch that fucked up his cart to begin with left his cart with only a little bit of HP, so my centaur just picked it off immediately. I think he was using that cart for like pretty much all 3 resources over here, so that must have messed with him a little. I was pretty lucky. But now he is forcing me off this position, which kind of sucks. So I'm pretty much just spamming out archers, moving my citizens, my villagers back, upgrading my towers. I like to do that early because I'm a fairly defensive player. I'm kind of defense is much better than my offense, to say the least. So I'm just kind of bearing with his Loki rush as best I can to begin with. Once I've got this tower, I'm pretty okay. I'm going to play it a little bit faster now because there isn't too much going on. Where's my scout? My scout is just enjoying the fucking wilderness over here because why not? Another thing I need to work on, albeit this was a pretty low hunt map, so there wasn't a lot of food available, but I tend to, around the classical age, just spam out farms. Like spam all my villagers on wood, as I'm kind of doing here with 14 on wood, and then just build farms as quick as I can so I have a decent food intake. And I think that's what kind of delays me early on from getting into heroic and getting that other town centre. Managed to get this town centre up and running in about 10 minutes. As you can see, my opponent was building a decent little forward here to harass me, and that was putting me off quite a lot. I guess he had plans to take this town centre, but it's not one of his priorities. Meanwhile, I'm pretty much just trying to get my economy up and running. What upgrades have I got? Let's see, am I still on his? I still don't know how all this menu shit works. Alright, no, I remember now. You click on my villager. So I had pickaxe, I had the second tier 2 wood upgrade. Hunting dogs, I got that early, got the farming upgrade, so I was doing okay for economy. Didn't have any military upgrades just yet. I think that's a pretty good composition against the Norse to begin with. Toxo, Hoplite, because the Hoplites will deal with the raiding cavalry and your Toxotes will generally fucking melt their Ulfsarks. They've only got that 10% resistance to pierce armor. And that's really, I think that's what did it for me this game. He just wasn't focusing on his economy too much. He was focusing heavily on military and he wasn't composing his army the right way. My units were just kind of much better aligned to deal with his. I had my hoplites taking on his cavalry and kept my archers all together, moved them back, fought around my tower. So that ended up playing to my advantage. But yeah, I was starved off. I kind of starved myself off food a lot early on. I was putting a lot of emphasis on just wood and then busting out as many farms as I could while trying to repel his assaults. One thing I do in other games though, which I improved on here, was I was much more aggressive. So whenever I rebuked one of his attacks here, I would generally send my units forward a little bit and kind of take that map control and just burn his military out. Whereas usually I would just kind of mass my units up here. And the problem with that is when he's going so heavy on military, I'm letting him build up a stronger army, letting him take map control. And meanwhile I'm just building up a military that's going to lose to his anyway. So even if I send these units forward and they get wrecked, I might as well get something out of it. Might as well take down some of his army. And I didn't realise, but I was fucking auto-queuing Toxotes to just suicide over here. I think that was when I realised there. I queued them there. So yeah, I'm definitely still rusty. Got a lot of fucking idle villagers over here. So I think I was training these guys for farms. Not really elaborate with where I put my houses. Everyone likes to live over here where it's safe, I guess. And that's the fucking thing I hate about Loki, because now he knows exactly where I'm mining my gold. If he was a better player, he could have just harassed me over here constantly with his cavalry and then ran back. But he kept flinging his units into this place with the tower and my military. And I guess that's where I got the advantage. I pushed forward, took his healing spring, took out his tower, let my archers pick off his units while his cavalry attacked my hoplites. So yeah. Essentially I'm not very good, but this guy's been playing less than me, obviously. You can tell I am not the most efficient player. I've got like a shit ton of resources, but I'm not using them all. Let's see, I can't remember. I hadn't bought any armory upgrades yet. I hadn't bought any military upgrades yet, but I was doing okay for economy upgrades. I had my tier 2 wood and gold and I had my farm, so really it was just, at this point I was going heroic, trying to spam up my economy. And now he finally raids my gold. But it's kind of too late, because I've got a strong military now. I'm just going to take it off, play fast, take a look at what he was doing. He had these 3 gold mines up here. I don't know if he scouted them. He scouted one of them, 2 of them, but he didn't scout the 3rd one. And more to the point, he didn't really go for them as such. He had...
Yeah?
I mean,
Yeah?
he's not training villagers. That's all I can really say. Villagers were the lifeblood of the whole strategy of this game, and he wasn't training them. He was so focused on microing his military over here. And now I'm in a much better place. I don't think he even gets to heroic in this game. In fact, the game's nearly done. I need to get a filter for this. I really need to I need to block that off, because that's kind of spoilers. It was at this point in the game I realised he wasn't producing any more military.
Skip on?
How many? He was going heavy gold, basically had no wood. So yeah. That's sort of the level I'm at just now. Not very quick, but I think I get the gist of things. And hopefully I'm going to improve with time, even if I have to get my ass kicked on Voobly over and over and over again. But that was a pretty solid win. If the game had gone on, I was pretty okay for gold over here. I would have gone to Mythic, started spamming Colossus as you do with Zeus and Myrmidons. Would have been ahead in economy, could have pushed forward with this town centre. But he realised early on that I was going to win. Which I was pretty fucking happy about, to be honest. Probably too happy. I mean, the guy's probably not been playing very long to not be training villagers. But nevertheless, I'll take a win where I can get one. And it's just about here he resigns. Any second now. Yep. And that is that. Hope that wasn't too bad for my first commentary. Hope I kept it short and sweet and entertaining. And if you're actually half decent at this game, feel free to shout at me in the comments about what the fuck I was doing wrong. There's probably plenty of stuff I wasn't doing, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, expect more videos, and I will see you next time.